Hey there, this is Malorian, and this is going to be the third game of the Onslaught tournament, and man, I got to turn this around, because I am 2 losses in so far. I guess I'd only win 1 with my list, but my goal is 2, so I really got to turn it on. But what do we have here? It is Orcs versus Orcs, and I got to tell you, my favorite games to play in Warhammer Fantasy are Orcs versus Orcs. Because if you get crazy stuff going on with one Orc army, when you put the two together, it is just wackiness the whole game. So this is going to be great. It's also going to be the meeting engagement. So I'm just showing here in this first picture what's starting on, what's starting off. On here, he's going to be having like a Mangler Squig and stuff on the right. He has his big block of his Night Goblins. A big block here of these Orc Biggins with double Choppas. He has his BSB and one Shaman in there. But another thing he's going for is he has his Shaman on the Rock Narok with the whole Web Shrine. That's going to be off the board. But look at it. He got like, what is that? 7 different Shaman. Oh, sorry, 6 other Shaman on foot to try and take this in. So he's going to be getting like a handful of channels on a 4+ all the time. It's pretty crazy. He also has 2 Doom Divers, another Mangler off the board, and also his Black Orcs will be off the board as well with his General. Now, the biggest thing about this is that I'm going to be up against Dan from, he used to be part of Mini Wargaming, now part of Codex Dan. And I gotta say, this is something that, as for kind of like a gamer, this made it onto my bucket list of things I just really wanted to happen. As soon as I heard that Dan was moving to my area, I was like, oh my god, I gotta play against him. I gotta do Orcs versus Orcs. This is going to be amazing. And here's the game. So here we go, guys. This is going to be good. So looking at my side, I had a few things starting off. I had both my units of archers and my spiders starting off. But otherwise, I got first turn, I got to place things first. So I'm going fairly aggressive. Super Orc was up there to charge whatever I really needed to. But what's going on with this game is you'll notice that there's going to be 2 coins on his side and my 2 cockatrices on my side. This is because if you hold them at the end of the game, you get an extra 100 victory points if they're on your side, 200 if they're the enemy ones. The little secondary thing I'm going for is to control all of them, because really he has some strong blocks that I'm going to have a hard time fighting, and so I'm going to really have to worry about surrounding him. And hey, while I'm running around surrounding, I might as well try and get these objectives. So this is kind of a better one here, showing what the matchups are going to be. I haven't taken my first turn yet, but you can kind of see how I'm going to be in trouble with this Mangler on the right, because he got to deploy second, and so with me having some of my bosses over there and my giant, yeah, they want nothing to do with that Mangler Squig. I really have a lot of things to go up against his big horde here of the Orc Biggins, but I really need to get to them fast, and I need to get back to that little pack of Shaman he has to shut down his crazy magic phases he's going to have. So on my first turn, the Stone Troll runs up, and he's going to be drawing out all of these Fanatics. So, now I don't have to worry too much about them, and that made it safe for Super Orc to fly past them after once they've been drawn out. So after everything was said and done here, I'm trying to move more up on the left side. Meanwhile, Super Orc is matching up, so he can either be charging his Doom Divers or his Shaman. Yeah, my monsters and stuff move back. I had a little bit of animosity with the Shield Orcs on the right. Not a big deal there. But, yeah, at this point is hoping these Fanatics kill themselves and that he moves his Orcs into a spot where I can, flank them and do some real damage. So on his turn, he has some bad luck, and one Fanatic runs into another Fanatic. The other one rolls a double, so all those Fanatics are gone, and I'm really happy. And over here, he's really trying to kill Super Orc, but the first thing he wants to do is slow them down. So he goes and he casts Itchy Nuisance on me. So now I'm -5 speed, and that's an issue. Luckily, I start off at speed 10, so I'm still pretty fast. But he also has these Black Orcs here with his General. So if I fail the charge, I'm going to be flanked by Black Orcs and a General. So his General is actually just a big boss, but still, I mean, all those guys, he's just going to refuse a challenge or whatever, take it with the champ. Either way, yeah, it's going to be bad. Another thing he does too is with his Hand of Gork, he just moves those Black Orcs right in my face. One of the things that doesn't really matter here, is because since I fly, I can just fly right over them. But yeah, sure was scary. Otherwise, after his turn, it looks like this. You can see his guys kind of moved up there, his biggins. He really, really wanted to kill Super Orc. So he shot him with some magic missiles. Didn't really get anything there. The Doom Divers then got to shoot him. I was really hoping I'd be within 12 of the right Doom Divers so that he couldn't shoot me, but he was just in. Luckily, when he was rolling for his hits, he was just 2 hits. One would wound. And then like on the first one, I think I made my 6+ test there, you know, my tattoos. Then the second one hit, same thing. And so he did 1 wound to me so far, but now Super Orc is in a spot to do some damage. And you can see there that his Spider Shrine came in the back. So, hey, maybe I can kill both Doom Divers, get to that Shaman, kill it, and yeah, the Spider will probably kill me, but hey, not so bad. His second Mangler came in, and he wanted the Mangler to come in actually to go after Super Orc, but unfortunately one of the things that works is that since they come in the remaining moves, and the compulsory is before that, that means that they just come on and stop. So both his Manglers are on the right side trying to kill my giants and big things there. Alright, so on my side, I basically go and I just charge the one Doom Diver, overrun into another one here. And after the whole turn, it looks like this. So, yeah, I really had my Boar Boys charge one of his Shaman. He fled and got away. And otherwise, I am just set for Operation Kill the Biggins. My Trolls are there to slow them down and redirect them. And then I'm trying to set up so I can hit them with the chariots, all the guys, monsters on the flank. He could be sending in his Night Goblins to go and bog down my Giant. But then the way that swing around, his Black Orcs would be kind of stuck out of the fight. So I'm okay with that. But yeah, it's going to be a big fight coming. He moves over there Rock so that I'm going to overrun into it. And yeah, I kill that one Doom Diver. And here we go. I'm already down 1 wound, so that's not good. But hey, it's Super Orc. So sorry for the bad picture here, but basically on his turn, he goes after the troll. He just decides to reform because, you know, he's not crazy. Black Orcs come to support. Over there, Super Orc kills his Shaman up on the Spider. So, not the Spider himself, but hey, at least now that magic is gone. He's not getting crazy channels anymore. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, you know, his magic really isn't doing very much for him. He did the itchy nuisances to my Boar Boys to slow them down. He was trying to put poison attacks and stuff on. And actually, yeah, his Biggins now have poison attacks and they have armor piercing because he has sneaky stabbing. But yeah, now it looks like it's going to have to be go time to try and get something done here. So here's the supercharge, and there's Dan going, oh boy, because going up against those biggins, I got my Boar Boys in the flank, the Rock in the front, I got the Wolf Chariot in the front, I got the Boar Chariot on the right, and the Giant on the right. So this is going to be a crazy fight. You can actually see there's a little gap there. That's where my squigs were supposed to be. But unfortunately, I failed that charge. And yeah, we'll see if this will be enough. And it is. Look at this. This is what we did here before break test. So he was able to destroy the one chariot. But the damage these guys did was crazy. The Giant is jumping up and down. And he just killed tons. Thunderstomps are killing tons. Impact hits killing tons. And you can kind of bet these guys are going to break. So that's a massive swing, killing all those points. I have the Spider there, so I can go and try and redirect his Black Orcs, because I need to buy some time. And while they're in there, hey, you know, maybe I can kill off his General, because it is just a big boss. So this guy might be able to get that done before he dies. Meanwhile, Super Orc is holding up. He's done a couple of wounds to the Spider. I'm down to 1 wound now. But that Super Orc, he's Super Orc. He's doing great. On his turn, he's going to be charging my Spider with both these units. And the way it goes, you know, his General's not on base to base, so I can't be putting attacks on him unless he comes over. And over here, okay, this is Dan being Dan, where he says, you know what, things are not looking good. Let's go for something crazy. So he actually has 2 Shaman charge the Giant, and then another Shaman charge the Chariot. Totally insane, But like I said, you get Orc versus Orc and guys like Dan, these things are going to happen. Over here, he actually goes. I can't remember if I made the challenge or if he made the challenge, but now I'm going to be fighting his general with my guy. So this is great. I might actually get to do some wounds to him and maybe even kill him. Over here, nom, 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 the Ragnarok eats Super Orc. So as bad as things are going for Dan, at least he got to eat this guy. So that must have felt good. And otherwise, yeah, there's Dan wondering what to do. Yeah, he's able to kill my guy there. I did 1 wound to his general, so he's close to death. The one mangler bouncing towards me, I was able to kill one of the manglers before with one of my little lone goblin boss jumping into it. But now the way it's set up, I obviously have lots of things that can go into the night goblins, and actually a good number of stuff that can still go into his black orcs as well. Because yeah, the giant killed one shaman, thunderstomped the other. He actually drew combat with my chariot, so that went well for him. But yeah, other than trying to get my spider to his spider to finish him off and get all those points, the biggest worry right now is just these black orcs. So on this turn here, I decide it's not quite ready to go after those black orcs. So I'm just kind of trying to buy some time to set up for another supercharge. The giant runs around to the other side. I double charged the night goblins, meaning my orcs had to go through that mangler. He got tons of hits, killed like most of the unit. But after I beat those night goblins up, he failed his leadership 8. He no longer has a BSB, so I run them down, get some points, get them out of the way. And meanwhile, you can see here that, what is it? I finally killed his other guy with my chariot, so that's another shaman down. And now I'm guessing he's going to go into my chariot, beat it up, and then I should be able to get the Ragnarok, the giant, and the squigs into the black orcs to hopefully finish them off. On his turn, though, he goes and surprises me, and his Ragnarok goes from downtown, and we're going to have a spider-on-spider fight. Over here, he goes after the chariot, and that should be pretty easy pickings. Alright, so this was some pretty bad luck. His black orcs, they go into my chariot. That should be a dead chariot by all rights, but I believe he goes for the 2 choppas, which is probably the wrong choice because he's wounding on 4s as opposed to wounding on 2s. And then he doesn't roll very well, only does 2 wounds to me, and then I even get away. So he basically get nothing to the chariot. I'm in a beautiful spot to countercharge. Now, let's talk about the spider combat here. He goes and he puts on the sneaky stabbing or whatever it is onto the spider. So it's getting rerolls to hit, it's getting armor pierce and all this stuff. But he just rolls garbage and does, like, I think maybe a wound. Meanwhile, going back, I do like 3 wounds. So in the end, I can't remember if it's a draw or if I lose by 1. But yeah, I think it was a draw. And then I just turned to face. So yeah, my spider should have been in real big trouble. I totally lucked out. And the spider fight continues. On the next turn here, he finally kills my spider. I flanked him with my little guys to get more damage in there, but before I could get that done, his spider goes and finishes off mine. But then he breaks from combat because with all my combat res, I still win. And then he breaks and I run him down. So much for the Ragnaroks. They're all dead. And then over here, I had my giant go into the rear and the squigs go into the flank. And we kill a whole bunch. We take away Steadfast and he is going to break. And at that point, he's tabled. So there you go, a big win for the Orcs. But man, what a great game. First of all, you know, it was a big massacre win. I got the secondary, but so fun. You know, as soon as I heard that Dan was coming over here, I couldn't wait to meet him, and I just really wanted to have an Orc versus Orc battle. Now, he said at the start that fantasy is not really his biggest game. He's more into, you know, like War Machine and 40k, so, you know, that's why he probably made like a few little small tactical errors, like for going to 2 choppas rather than a great weapon, but really that was just minor stuff. We just had a whole blast through the whole game, lots of fun, especially that spider combat was just crazy, and he finally kills mine, and then I had to run him down with little spiders, that crazy super combat. Just like I said, when you have Orcs, versus Orcs is going to be a great game. And when you have guys that love Orcs like we do, it's going to be even better. So I hope you guys like watching that. And Game 4 will be coming up. Bye.